Hey guys, Will's Garage here. Just wanted to share a little coolant leak issue I've been having on the F10 M5 recently. It's been going on, I think, for about 6 months or more now. The car has been throwing a code that the coolant is low, and it happened a couple times. So the first time it happened, I just refilled the coolant, and then about 3 months later, the light came on again. So I filled up the coolant again, and I think I filled up total of approximately a full liter through both of those times. And if you guys saw my previous video, I replaced the turbo coolant lines right here, and that was about a couple years ago. It's been 30,000 miles or so that I've put in the car since then, and it started leaking again, but the leak doesn't look that bad where I would have to refill a whole entire liter within 6 months. Upon investigation, I looked down here to find a bunch of dried up coolant. If I can get my camera focus, hopefully you guys can see that. It's right next to the belt. But basically, there's a connection down here that's leaking, and it's coming from the turbo coolant line return hose on the left side right here. And there's a plastic piece on the bottom there. Let me grab the new part so you guys can see it. So here's the brand new replacement turbo coolant return hose, and it has the plastic attachment on the end, which I think is the culprit. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the old piece and do a side-by-side comparison. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and change the turbo coolant hoses, the 4 rubber pieces here. I posted a video on how to do that a couple years ago. I'll leave a link on the upper right hand corner if you guys want to check it out. Alright, so I got the 2 return hoses removed up top here by the turbos, and I am extremely shocked at what happened down here. I barely pulled on the bottom connector, and the hose completely separated from the plastic piece. I did not think it was going to come out that easily. Okay, so top piece here is the new hose, bottom is the old hose, and as you can see, this plastic piece right here had a little nipple at the end that goes into the rubber hose, and it looks like that just completely broke off. Kind of boggles my mind that BMW uses these brittle plastic connectors for coolant hoses, because, you know, with all that heat from the coolant, eventually the plastic gets brittle and it just breaks. This piece right here, you could just really replace the plastic piece, and I tried looking all over for the replacement part. The only place I could find it, searching all over the internet, is this one vendor, and they're located in Europe. And the part was about, I think, 17 euros from what I recall, but after shipping everything to the United States, it cost a total of 75 euros. So the alternative is to buy the entire replacement part, which includes the plastic piece, the rubber hose right here, as well as the entire return hose with the 2 turbo coolant rubber hoses up top here, for about $100. So I ended up just buying the whole entire assembly from FCP. Kind of scary because I don't know how many other areas in the F10 M5 uses these kind of 90-degree plastic pieces, because I imagine all those pieces are going to be brittle as well. And yeah, when you pull this out, there's a metal retaining piece. It's kind of tricky to remove this because the metal retainer is pointed downwards facing in the engine bay. But once you pull this out, you can release the plastic connector from the car, and a bunch of coolant's going to dump out. Unfortunately, I just made a complete mess, and coolant's dumped all over the bottom of the engine bay. I'm going to have to clean that up. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and install the new piece as well as the new turbo coolant lines. So as you can see, I made a gigantic mess on my garage floor here. because when I open up the coolant connection right here, a bunch of coolant gushed out, and get my camera focus. Yeah, so I just threw down towels, but it was just not enough. It just gushed out all over, and there isn't much room down there to put a catch can to catch the coolant or anything. Just make sure once you release the old one, you have the new one ready to reattach in immediately. Otherwise, you're gonna lose a decent amount of coolant like I did. The other thing is the coolant kind of gets all over the belts, as you can see here, which is kind of a concern to me because I'm afraid over time it's going to cause the belt to crack prematurely, but it is what it is. So just gonna go ahead and reconnect the rubber coolant lines up here, and we should be good to go. Alright, so I got everything buttoned up. Just need to refill the coolant and clean up the mess underneath the car. Whew, the shenanigans of the F10 M5, man. But you know what? It's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. I enjoy every moment driving this car. It's an absolute dream to drive. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.